La Vuelta resumes with a similar stage to Sunday, a lumpy outing featuring a summit finish, this time at Lara Belagua. Remco Evenepoel won there 2 years ago in an edition that was dominated by Visma Lease bike. Sepp Kuss took victory ahead of Jonas Vingegaard. Well, this time the American is trying to help the Dane win the race, but they are in no major hurry to recover the red jersey.
For now, I mean, every bit of energy you can save is good. But yeah, I think until now, us in Bahrain, we've had a good collaboration at times, especially in the starts, making sure the right move goes. And yeah, I think when we can help each other out a bit like that, then it's always good for both.
Over at UAE, João Almeida felt he was lacking a bit of support on Sunday, and it's been announced that Juan Ayuso will leave the team at the end of the season. Turbulent times indeed, but Almeida remains upbeat.
A hard week ahead, lots of uphill finishes. If there are no time differences, for sure they're gonna count in the legs now, so we're gonna do our best.
Tom Pidcock was one of the big winners on Sunday, jumping up to 4th overall, and his teammate David de la Cruz says week 2 could potentially be decisive.
Creo que queda mucha vuelta.
Well, I think there's still a long way to go at this Vuelta, and this week is very tough with today's stage, then Bilbao, Angleru, La Farapona. So the GC riders will probably try to ride more conservatively at the end of the stage, especially as it's not a climb where you can open up big gaps. I think it's one for the breakaway, to be honest.
Para la fuga, la verdad.
We are pretty much halfway through this Vuelta 25, but there's still plenty of action to come. Stage 10 is 175 kilometres with 2 categorised climbs. First the Alto de las Coronas and then Lara Belagua, which is 9.4k at 6.3%. But will it throw up more surprises like Sunday? Well, today saw the biggest battle of the race so far to get into the breakaway, an early average speed of 50 kilometres an hour. Matteo Jorgensen was among the riders caught up in this crash, and while the American was okay, Raul Garcia Pierna, sitting 14th overall this morning, was forced to abandon. After several more attempts, the GC riders were suddenly on high alert as Vingegaard attacked with Victor Campenaerts. Visma Lease bike once again looking to catch out their rivals.
Oh la la la! One rider there from Groupama FDJ taking the Musette, coming down. That was a really heavy fall.
Well, Vingegaard was soon brought back by the red jersey group, so panic over for the time being. After a brief lull, a group of around 30 managed to get a small gap, with lots of different teams represented. This looked like the move of the day. Well, they were soon approaching the first climb of Las Coronas, over 8 kilometres at 4.4%. A very handy-looking group indeed at the front, with the King of the Mountains, Jay Vine, Pablo Castrillo, Louis Fafaka and Kevin Vermarker. Mikhail Kwiatkowski was also up there with Sean Quinn, Bruno Armirai and Harold Tejada, while the best placed man overall was Junior Lasser, 4 minutes and 21 down on Torstein Train. The gap creeping up to 2 minutes as one man decided to go it alone.
Javier Romo from Movistar is trying to break away from the group of 30.
Well, Vine setting off in pursuit of Romo as they approach the summit. The Spaniard resisting and taking 3 King of the Mountains points at the top, 2 for Vine to slightly increase his lead. Well, the Australian caught the Spaniard on the descent, with the gap back to the red jersey group now up to 3 minutes. Well, Vine and Romo were soon caught by 6 more riders: Castrillo, Bernard, Ryan, Asparan, Conchi and Balderstone, and it looked like they would be going for the stage as Bahrain Victorious weren't chasing too earnestly in the bunch. Vermarker and Alex Segart also made it back to the front before the intermediate sprint, so 10 riders now in the breakaway, and Segart even decided to anticipate going solo before the final climb.
A huge move from the front group here from Alex Segart, taking an absolute flyer to try and get himself up the road and try and launch himself away from such a strong group of riders.
Well, Segart began Lara Belagua with around 40 seconds on the rest of the breakaway. The peloton was still over 3 minutes down. The chase was somewhat disorganised for the time being. Further back though, UAE were increasing the pace in the peloton, with Ayuso working for Almeida. Well, Segart was eventually caught and dropped by Castrillo, the Movistar man making his bid for glory with 7.5 kilometres to go. He had a problem though, and it was wearing polka dots. The Spaniard joined by Vine, who was looking the fresher of the two. Torstein Train was unable to stay with the rest of the GC group as Vine sailed away from Castrillo at the front, the Australian on course for another Vuelta double. In the favourites group, Almeida was upping the pressure, but Vingegaard was right there on the wheel, and ultimately there would be no major gaps. Train, though, would be saying goodbye to that red jersey. Castrillo giving everything, but he wouldn't catch Vine, who was preparing to celebrate his 4th Vuelta stage win and UAE's 4th of this edition.
The man leading the King of the Mountains classification, Jay Vine, is going to win at the top of the Alto de Balagua. An incredibly fast stage here on stage 10 to start week 2 of La Vuelta.
For the second time at this Vuelta, Jay Vine proved the strongest man in the breakaway, and the King of the Mountains was in a league of his own on the final climb. The 29-year-old doubling up just as he did in 2022 on another good day for UAE. They were lively throughout, even if Almeida wasn't quite able to drop his rivals in the final. In this sport, success has to be earned.
Winning is so hard, and it's such an incredible feeling when it happens, and no, I don't think I'll ever get used to winning, because it's just unbelievably hard.
Vine taking his 11th career win by 35 seconds from Castrillo, with the GC group at 1 minute 05 and Train at 2 minutes 08. Vingegaard is therefore back in red and leads the race by 26 seconds from the Norwegian. Almeida and Pidcock are both within 1 minute of the Dane. Not much action at the top of the points classification today. Mads Pedersen still has a 9-point lead over Ethan Vernon. Well, Vine has tightened his grip on the polka dot jersey. He is now 23 clear of his nearest challenger, Louis Fafaka. And it's close in the youth standings, only 27 seconds separating Giulio Pellizzari and Matthew Riccitello. Tomorrow we'll enjoy a mini classic around Bilbao. Join us for that on Wednesday, and thanks for watching.